Good evening, YouTube. I'm sorry if you can hear. Hi, Brian. Hi, Sheila. I'm sorry if you can hear that fan at the side of me. I'm in the conservatory and it is boiling. So Cooper is on the sofa at the side of me, and I've got the big stand fan just blowing at him because he's overheating a little bit. How are you all doing? And obviously, thank you everybody for Coopy Doopy's special birthday wishes. Big boy, he's 8. So he's had me sing to him, he had his daddy sing to him, he's had his presents, he's had his cake. It's not, as it's Sheila. Bloody hell, it is baking here. Hi, Barbara. Hello. Yeah, it's been really, really hot. First thing this morning, it wasn't that warm. That was a little nippy. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't warm. But obviously, that kind of burned off, and it became very hot as the day's gone on. Did any of you see the news regarding this heat bomb that's supposed to be coming towards the end of the week? So, yeah, it was like that this morning, Brian. Just a little breezy, and it was overcast, but then it just went. Hi, Janet. Hello. It isn't going to be long tonight because I want to make sure that I'm well rested for tomorrow, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Just let a few other people come in. But yeah, this weather bomb, apparently there's some storm that's going to hit the Med and then head up towards the UK. But it's then going to, one weather front is going to bounce into the other. And they're saying they're expecting, 30 odd degree temperatures at the end of the week. So I'm like, yeah, that's going to be fun, isn't it? I'm not meant for hot weather. Hi, Marie. How are you? Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming in. Anybody who hasn't, can you follow? Give Sheila a follow, please. She's got a channel up and running, and very funny it is too. If you want to drop your link in, Sheila, or anybody who's got it, I can't at the minute because I'm only on my phone. I've not got my other. I've not got my other device with me. My tablet's going flat. I will melt, Brian. Well, this is it. I'm meant for cooler climates. It's a funny thing because I go really brown. My arms at the moment, I've got like Van Driver's arm. So I've got like white bit at the top where my t-shirt's been, and the bottom of my arm is really brown. I mean, there's a photograph from one of my lives earlier in the year or last year. You'll see it. The thumbnail that I put up for the start of the live, it was like Porky's back with his tattoo on it and my arm slung over him. And you can see the difference because he's got the white Celtic skin, and then there's my like sallow looking Norwegian-y colour. So it's quite funny. Yeah, there's Sheila's link. If anybody would like to follow her, you've got about 70 subs now, Sheila. That's pretty good going, mate. Well done. Oh, Janet. Let me just say, I have been rolling laughing, like to the extent where I couldn't get any words out. I was laughing that hard at some things. So, yeah. Oh, you've been babysitting, were you, Marie? Was this for your children, grandchildren, neighbours, nephews, what have you? Janet, I just say it as it is. I can't pretend to be posh. No. Do you know what, Sheila? I would rather have straight, say it as say what you think any day of the week. Hi, Linda. How are you, love? Our youngest grandchild. Oh, how old are they, Marie? Because if you're trying to rest, I'm presuming they were running you ragged, were they? Your keyboard is effed. You keep spitting coffee out. Oh, Sheila knows. Sheila will know that you mean it as a compliment. Paula, hello. Hello. Lovely to see you all. I feel really bad because you're all coming in. And this is going to be a very short one this evening. But I'll say it now while everybody's here. So tomorrow, I don't know if any of you have seen my upcoming live that is scheduled for 8 o'clock. I think it is tomorrow. we've got a special guest, and Janet knows who it is. Not because I, confided in her and not anybody else. Janet had actually come across this particular person purely by chance and had messaged me. So that's how Janet knows who it is. I'm not telling you because I want it to be a real surprise. I want you to get the thrill of listening to the stories and what have you. So I don't want to point anybody in the direction of his channel first. No, it bloody isn't, Brian. Bollocks to that. Sheila, I will have more uploads soon. They nearly finished. Takes time when you have a real life too. Well, this is it, Sheila. We don't live on the internet, do we? Marie, the oldest grandchild will be 3 next month and the youngest will be 2. Oh gosh, you've got your hands full then, haven't you? Happy days. But I bet you wouldn't change it for anything, would you? So this guest we've got that's coming up tomorrow night, he is very well known in this area. He's very well known in the Northwest, but he goes all over the UK. He investigates stories and eyewitness encounters of cryptids, so cryptid creatures, so things like, well, UK dogmen, wild men, stroke Bigfoot encounters, the paranormal, weird things that have been seen. No, it's not Chris Higgett, and I know it's not you, Brian. We'll have you at one time, don't worry. So he goes and investigates all of these. He's got some really good tales. So what I'm wanting to do is, he's come up. I've met him a couple of times already for different reasons. Really great guy. He's with a cracking team of people. And again, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so I'm going to get him to tell you all about that tomorrow. But, and this is your little, I'm going to do Derek Akura. Do you know, I wish he was still alive, Brian. He used to make me laugh my arse off. Cooper, stop it. The dog's barking. He's gonna, do you know, I'm gonna drug him tomorrow night so he doesn't bark. Come here, we'll find some pot from, I'm sure one of the neighbours will have some, because I smell enough of it when I'm walking down the road. So what I would like you to do, guys and gals, is think of any questions that you'd like to ask him, because we're going to finish off. So we're going to talk, and we're going to have a bit of an interview, and I'm going to get Mick to tell us different things about his work and what he does and things he's seen, and some of the eyewitness encounters and so on and so forth. It's always his bloody birthday when he's feeling giddy, Sheila. He's a little swine, this dog. So, and then I've said, can we round it up at the end with some questions from the chat? So if you have a think about things, and this now, I'm not picking on you, Paula, but I'm going to use you for an example, and it can be anything, because I know a lot of us are believers and some of us aren't. And we had this discussion a week or so ago with Paula, who likes to follow the science and, follow the evidence. So it'll be good to have any, if you're around tomorrow, Paula, and you've got any questions that will take the conversation in that direction, more of a scientific rather than the truth is out there like the rest of us X-Files type of question, that would be really good, because Mick's really approachable. He's a really nice guy, and I know that he'll answer your questions if you've got them. So that would be quite good, because obviously, it's nice to have a very, let's have a think, a compassionate audience, shall we say, but it's also nice to be challenged occasionally. So and I know that he likes a discussion. So yeah, but I think it's going to be really good. That's it, Janet. It is, and I like that. It was like when we were talking about Nessie, weren't we? And Paula was saying that she follows the science, and I suppose I should, because I've got a science background. But I am a bit whimsical, and I do like to believe that the truth is out there. So so that would be very interesting. And he does like he's been a guest on Dogman Encounters Radio with Vic Cundiff, the American channel that I always point you guys in the direction of. So he's been a guest on there. You know, and he was telling Vic about his you know, the tales and some of the eyewitness encounters that he was covering. So yeah, I'm hoping it'll be a rare treat, and you know, we can ask him, we can talk about whatever. If anybody's got any real pressing questions that they want to ask, you could always put them in, drop them in an email to me if you don't want to put them in the chat tomorrow night, because I understand sometimes people feel a bit daft asking certain things. Now, I know for the most part you shouldn't in here, because, you know, we're a little channel, everybody's really friendly. All that I am going to say, though, is that if we get any of those stupid bloody trolls in like we had last time, don't even ask, bomb them out. Any stupidity, just block them, just kick them out and block them, because we're not having it tomorrow. That's it, Paula. It's and I think as well, with a lot of the stuff that we discuss, that there is always a science-based approach for it as well, isn't there? And yeah, I think that it's yeah, I think that is very healthy to have that debate, to have a difference of opinion. And like I said, everybody, it doesn't matter who has an opinion on what in here. We all respect each other. Nobody's going to get shouted down by the rest of the channel just because you have a difference of opinion. And like I said, sometimes I will go for the science-based approach. You know, that is my background. You know, 2 of my degrees are in the sciences, but I also have this brain that goes, no, but isn't it great to have dogmen? Isn't it great to have werewolves and ghosts and, you know, things that go bump in the night? So yeah. What was the trouble on the last one? Oh no, Janet. Oh, it was just a load of shite. So I just took it down. I'm not having just because you know, this channel isn't about people arguing and whatnot, and it was getting diverted. So I just took the live down. It wasn't any big deal, but before that we'd had trolls coming in, you know, under stupid names. So yeah. So that's what I was just saying. If they come in tomorrow night, I'm not even going to debate them. The last time I kind of said, well, you know, you can't just come in and make a sweeping statement. It was something about calling Bam's big boobs. And I went, she's never denied she's got big boobs. She's quite proud of them. And what you got to say about it? They just went quiet. So, but yeah, so tomorrow night, no, if anybody, you've all got wrenches, anybody starts playing silly buggers, don't even entertain them, please. Just kick them out, because this is not about trolls tomorrow. It is about a topic that we're all interested in. So yeah, so I don't know what you all think. I hope you're all going to look forward to it, because he's done hi Firefly, hello, lovely to see you. How are you? As I was saying, I'm not on very long. I didn't sleep last night. I don't know how anybody else was, you know, wherever in the UK you are, but here in the Northwest, God, the humidity was a killer. Hello, my gorgeous. How are you? Linda was Leah. Now that's just murder, because it's Scottish Linda, and I'm now going to be singing flipping. Oh, what was it? What was the group? Hue and Cry. Looking out for Linda. Oh, thank you for the happy birthday wish for Cooper. He is making himself known, Linda. He keeps going outside and woofing. Oh, see, there we go. Right on cue. Come here. Come in now and stop it. There's a big cricket match on, and there's the cheering and the chanting and the singing and everything is drifting over here. So he is right. Hang on a sec. Get in. No, that's not your sock. Whose sock is that? Is that your daddy's sock? Oh, he's got a bloody sock off the pile. Right. Everything's wonderful. Thank you, Dancing Firefly. And I hope the same is with you. Yeah, it's good of him to come meet us and share with us. An interesting treat to hear him. Yes, Sheila, I am as well. Hang on. You, get in. Come on, in. I'm going to shut this door. Get in. Right, little sod. Yeah, he is feeling the energy. He's a bugger. He really is. Let me see if I've missed anybody's off here. Oh, my night out. Oh, well, no, I'll tell you what. It was a good night. It was different. It was different. But yeah, it was. There were a lot of women with balls of steel, but doing burlesque dancing, and one of the acts was really near the knuckle. It shocked even me, and I'm not a prude by any stretch of the imagination, but myself and Angela were sitting there going, "Oh, okay." But the leader of the dance troupe was fantastic. She did all these, those great big ostrich feather fans, like the huge ones, and they kind of put them over themselves. So it's a bit like a clamshell, isn't it? They kind of open them up. So, well, one of them did, Brian, actually. There was a lady there and she's saying, oh, my daughter is in the same group, because there's a few different dance groups there, burlesque groups, is in the same group as your friend. But it turns out that her daughter was a pre-op transsexual. So going to love you and leave you all. Plum tuckered in me. Too many late nights, but we'll listen for the comfort of bed, which is calling. No problem, Paula. Well, I hope you can make it tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be up long because I didn't sleep well last night. The humidity here was awful. I was awake all night. I finally nodded off at about 6:30. My damn alarm went off at 7. I haven't had a chance to catch up on my sleep during the daytime because I was working and then doing the horses and dog walking and fuck knows what else. So, and I don't want to be knackered and flagging tomorrow night while we've got Mick up. So, hi, Julia. Hello. I'm just filling everybody in tomorrow, Julia. We've got Mick coming up. I'll not give you any further information now on him, but do you remember I was telling you about the investigator who was interested in yours and Declan's stories? This is him coming up tomorrow. Well, there's two of them who were interested in them. Mick's one of them, Chris Turner is another. So yeah, so if you're around tomorrow, especially, I mean, I don't know if your Declan's going to be around, but do feel free to come on up, and we're going to have some questions later on. Yeah, and I just saw as well, Brian. Yeah, if you've got questions for Mick, we're going to finish off with some questions at the end of the session. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, that's right, Julia. So, I mean, no obligation whatsoever. But if there's anything that you obviously want to get in touch with him about or speak to him, I'm going to share his contact details at the end of the session tomorrow. So, people have got an email, they can get in touch with him or and what have you. And then you can see his channel. Well, there are 3 different channels, and I'm going to point you in the direction of all of them. So, Cassius, hello. I'm late again. Multiple internet is icky as hell. Oh no, don't worry, Cassius. It's just a little catch up. It's just about tomorrow night, and I've been saying to people, don't let if there's any of those trolls from Knobhead's side of things come in tomorrow night, not entertaining them at all. Just boot them out, because this is about what we like to talk about on our channel. It's not about bloody crowd justice funds or idiots who think it's hilarious to make donations in other people's names and troll everybody. So yeah, if they come in, kick them out. We're not having it. Yeah, Sheila, I love Julia's stories. Oh, he does darts, does he? Oh, not to worry, Julia. But the thing is, you'll hear Mick anyway, and then if there'll be some contact details available. So if you do want to get in touch with him by email, phone, what have you, then you can do that separately. And because his friend, oh, this dog, hang on. Right, it might be a birthday. Do you want to go to the dog's home? I'm sure somebody will take you on. Right? Not messing. I'm not messing. There's always somebody wants to take an old dog on. You're not young anymore. Bugger off. Oh dear me. So yeah, so just have a think about all of you, like I said. Have a think about any questions you might like to ask him. Because we'll talk about all sorts of things. You know, a lot of the work that he does, and I don't want to tell you about it in advance, but obviously you know that one aspect of it is he's got the same interest that we have in dogmen. I'm just sorry that Sid isn't here, because I know Sid, and out of everybody, you know, oh, hi Rav, hello. Not seen you for a while. We've got a guest coming on tomorrow night to talk about the paranormal. And also, just a little aside, it's not related to this. On my community post, Rav, he is an archaeology student in the UK, and he reconstructs Old English. And he has got 6 different recordings of how people would have sounded. So in the 1300s, 1400s, and so on, right up to the present day. And it is really interesting to hear the English that is spoken in the 1300s. It sounds very Germanic. It's really interesting. And I know that the English language has got, you know, it's obviously based around the Northern European and the Germanic languages. You know, we've got the Saxons and the Old Norse and so on. But yeah, to actually hear it being spoken, you would not realize that, you know, 600 years, not even 600 years, probably 500 years later, it sounded completely different. So you may find that interesting. That's on my community post. And anybody else actually who's interested in linguistics and the evolution of a language is very, very interesting. Leah, if I was to type how I speak, no one would understand me. No, I know. Thou hast and do hast. That's right. That's right, Rav. And it's the same as well in the Scandinavian languages as well. You know, a lot of our words, modern English, a lot of the words that we still use today have their basis in Old Norse. So and you know, old what Scandinavian languages, that they're all Germanic. So yeah, I love this evolution of language. I think it's fantastic. But so yeah, if anybody's interested, you know that I'll post crazy things. Linda, Cassius has that problem if he spoke how he typed. Oh, good grief, I know. That's it, Cassius. Persona non grata. That's it. We see we're even talking Latin tonight. I was saying a while ago, it would have been quite funny to have a few different people on with different accents. So you'd have Brian and Cassius and Bam and Wiccan, and then throw Simple's Meerkat into it because she's a Geordie. And can you imagine that as a panel? That everybody in chat would be like, "What? We have lost the old Lancashire words recently. It all changes. It does, Julia." And this is what the guy is trying to say, because you know he is a linguist and he's an archaeology student, and he's saying that these aren't, you know, we've no recordings of how people spoke in the 13th century and 14th century, but these have been reconstructed based on descriptions, written descriptions of how words were pronounced. And I loved it. I'll listen to it. And do you know, I'm going to go back after this, after I've come off the live. You've tried reading Old English and it's so difficult. Certain letters were used in place of others. Old English. That's, yeah, you are, Sheila, aren't you? Broad Yorkshire. I just think we should have a regional panel one time and get Raventor up as well. If anybody, has any of you ever heard the original reading of Beowulf? And that is in, obviously, in Middle English. You know, it's like this Saxon way. It's bizarre. I went along to it was like a Saxon night, and it was fantastic listening to it. I'm sure that there would be a recording of it somewhere. And there were obviously scholars and actors that were reading this. I got, and you got transported back. It was like being back in the 7th century or the 6th century, whenever it was. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. So that's well worth listening to. And I also in where were we now? It wasn't York. It was oh God, it was somewhere down south. I'm really sorry, my memory's dreadful. But we went along to a reading of Beowulf, and there was an old reconstructed Saxon village, and they actually did the reading there. And it was quite a famous actor who, because my brain is crap, I can't remember him. I can see his face now. But I can. Oh, hang on. I think it was him who played. Oh, he was in Game of Thrones. It was in Game of Thrones. One of the old meisters, but he did it. Well, we're all drinking and eating, and there's a fire going, and some people are dressed in like Saxon outfits, and other people, like myself, were just dressed normally. But you know, when they got to certain parts of the telling, and they'd be saying something along the lines of, you know, and then the doors burst open, and in came Beowulf, and then everybody was cheering. I was doing it. You got so wrapped up in the telling of this story. You know, everyone's like, Beowulf, Beowulf, and slamming the drinks on the table and cheering and stamping the feet. It is one of the best nights I have ever had. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. So if ever anybody has the opportunity to go along to a night where they are recounting the full sagas of Beowulf, please go. Please go. Oh, what? Hang on, what I'm missing here? What's evil but good? Oh, Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's a bit near the knuckle, isn't it? But it is very good. I loved Game of Thrones, but I had read the books. It's the same with The Last Kingdom. That's one, Rav. Have you watched that? The Last Kingdom. One of your countrymen is the main. In fact, two, isn't it? The main actor in it, Alexander Draymond. I mean, he speaks fluent English, is amazing, but he's German. And also Emily, who plays Breda, although she has an English name, she was actually also born and raised in Germany. So, and the majority of the cast who play the Vikings are either German or Danish. I think there's one or two Norwegians, but it's mainly German and Danish actors. Oh, I love him, Rav. I love him as well. But if you have you watched The Last Kingdom, and it's available on Netflix. If you haven't, you will love it. Given your fascination, you know, with the old ways, and you know how we used to live, and self-sufficiency, and you know, clean living. Oh yeah, you've seen it. Brilliant. Yeah, I absolutely adore it, and I need to watch the film now. So it's the new film that's out, Seven Kings Must Die. So that's one that I have on my watch list, but I just haven't got round to it yet. So, any pressing topics? What would anybody like to talk about? Oh, and if anybody, Rav, would you like to drop your link into the link for your channel into the chat, please? If anybody isn't following or sub to Rav, could you sub to him, please? Your wife only loves him in Uhtred style. In Norman style, she said he's not half as hot as in the show. I agree with your wife. I think because he's blonde, isn't he? He's got blonde hair and it doesn't suit him, even though that's his colour. He should have long dark hair and a bit of a beard and be swinging a battle sword round and wearing furs. And tell your wife I totally agree with her. You watched the first season, but I didn't watch the rest. I think I'll have to start it again. We're on to 5 seasons now. Luke and Mum, hello. Hi, welcome. Lovely to see you. We're just having a little bit of a chat tonight, Luke and Mum. Do I know? Hang on, I know you from somewhere, don't I? Are you? You're from Rav's channel, aren't you? I think. Or have I got that wrong? Oh, it is right. Okay, so it is Luke and Mum Rav. I thought I had seen Luke and Mum on your channel. I don't know if you have your own channel as well, Luke, but if you do, feel free, drop your link in. There's the link to Rav's channel if anybody would like to sub. What we normally talk about in here, Luke and Mum, is all sorts of weird things. But tomorrow we have, yes, thank you. I thought I recognised you from Rav's channel when I've been in. Thank you, Janet and Sheila. Thank you for subbing to Rav. So I don't know, Luke, if you have a channel as well, but if you do, please feel free to put your link in the chat and, we'll all follow you. We talk about all sorts of things. Sometimes it's Vikings, sometimes it's thank you, Sheila. Sheila's put Luke and Mum's channel link in there, so please follow. Thank you, Sheila. Yeah, we like to share. Luke and Mum is from the tribe. We're a crew. Oh, thank you for welcoming Luke, Julia. Thank you. I need to go back on there, don't I? I set my account up, Rav, and then I didn't go back to work. Oh, thank you so much for coming in, Firefly. I hope you're around tomorrow because we've got a special guest tomorrow who's going to come and talk about the paranormal. So, but I will leave it up, just in case you miss it. So thank you for coming in. Please take care, sweetheart, and we'll see you very soon. Oh, thank you for everybody who's subbing to Rav and Luke. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yes, Luke, we've got a guest coming on tomorrow who is an investigator, and he investigates the stories of cryptid creatures. And one of them, which we all love, is dogmen, which are kind of like the European tale of the wolf man or a werewolf. But these stories are very popular in America. So this guy investigates stories of the same type of cryptid creature in the UK, and he does other investigations as well. Really nice guy called Mick, so he's going to be a guest tomorrow. You're very welcome if you want to join us. We will be live 8 o'clock UK time. Thanks for all the subs. Actually, I have mixed content. I will go back to Norse and bushcraft in the future. It's absolutely fine, Rav. I mean, I like watching your little, when you're out and about, and I watched your unboxing the other. Oh, that was earlier today, wasn't it? But I was getting calls from work, so I didn't have a chance to comment, but I should do now. Thank you. Oh, it'd be great if you can both make it in. And if you have any questions for Mick, it would be really good. No problem. We need tips on how to be a survivalist and live off the land and all that. That's right, Sheila. That's right. There is there are quite a few channels I follow like that. Channels that follow the old ways and the Norse ways. So they're very wholesome channels as well. Yes, Julie. Oh, well, you love the stuff that that Rav will be putting out on his channel. There's the other one as well. Oh, what's it called? Is it Cyber Bushcraft? Oh, I think Camber Bushcraft, isn't it? Sorry, I was getting the name wrong. You have a question. What's the cricket score? I've got no idea, Brian, because I hate cricket. I can hear them all shouting and the singing and doing the chants, but I don't like cricket. I'm going to, I think I may have told you this the other day. I found out that my granddad So this is my mum's mum, my Scottish granddad, and they came down here to live in England, in Lancashire, and he was given a place on the, and I'm going back to 1930s, I think. Hang on, he was born in 1912, probably 1930s, 1920s, 1930s. He was given a place on the Lancashire county cricket team. And because at the time it was a very middle class and upper class sport, and he was a working class Scottish migrant, and it just didn't, yeah, he just wasn't made welcome. And it was a shame because apparently, by all accounts, he was now he would have been a, world class cricketer, according to my uncle and my aunties. They said he was amazing. Actually, I often stream some games after work and some unboxings just for a handful of subscribers. I see them all as friends in a tribe. Yeah, well, I happened to watch that one before, Rav, so Brian, have to go. See you guys later. Oh, you have to work, Brian. Okie dokie. Well, take care, Brian, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow for the interesting live. I can't wait. I'm really excited. Sheila's interested in what you can forage, what's good for you, like herbalist, natural cures, stuff like that. Well, oh, and janitors as well. Did any of you see the little video? I put a short up the other day, and I found some fungi. I think they are dryad saddle mushrooms, but I couldn't find a similar picture online. And so I was asking people, and there's loads of them. And I'm thinking, God, if these are good eating, they're going to go off before I get a chance. But because I don't know what they are, I don't want to pick them and eat them in case I kill myself. So, I mean, I think a few people would like to see me off. But so if any of you are good at foraging and you recognise different types of mushroom, if you could have a look at that short of mine and see if I was right or wrong. But I think, as I said, I think they're what we call dryad saddle. Dying to try dandelion flowers fried in batter. Oh, is that something? Now, I've had elderflower, Julia. Elderflowers dipped in, kind of coated in icing sugar and dropped in the deep fat fryer. They're really nice. They're really nice. Got to be really careful with mushrooms. I had the ones that make you high by accident. Wow, what a time. Oh, you're in the car. Oh, you're coming home from the hairdo, Wiccan. Drive safely. Well, Janet, this was quite, well, it wasn't funny, but it kind of was in a sick way. So you have a beer. Well, I went up to my dad's one time, and as some of you know, my dad breeds Rhodesian Ridgebacks, and he now has a Burbull, this South African Mastiff. But the Rhodesian Ridgebacks, his main dog, his big stud dog Thor, he was outside, and my dad and his well, they're now divorced, but my dad and his now ex-wife were howling, laughing, and I said, "What's the matter?" They went, "Look at Thor." I said, "What's up?" Well, he's sitting there outside. He was a huge dog, sitting outside with his. So he sat up in a seated dog position, but his front legs were like so wide apart, and his head was hanging, and he was drooling. And I said, "What's up with him?" And they went, they had magic mushrooms growing at one part of the field. The dog had bloody eaten him. So I said, "I think the dog needs to go to the vet." So we did. We got him in the car. I mean, it was quite funny. He was as high as shit. Got him in the car and got him down to the vet. And the vet he did pump his stomach, actually. Well, not pump his stomach. It gave him whatever it was to make him be sick. He had to empty his stomach, was the right word. Sub to your channel, Luke and Mum. I watched a bit of Montana video. Went there once for a few days. National Park, going to the Sun Road. It was in August and hot. Oh, right. Thank you, Wolisa. Julia, loads grow outside my house. Going to get some and tell you all what they're like. What are you talking about? Dandelions or magic mushrooms? Because I liked that in the program Vikings, because they were always chewing on the magic mushrooms, weren't they, and tripping and doing whatever else. Yeah, I will sub to you, Luke and Mum, once I've got off this stream, because I'm using my phone and I can't do anything when I've got like trying to, because I'll make you a sub as well. I'll make everybody subs when they come in. So next time you visit, you will have a wrench like everybody else. It's just I can't do it on this phone. Yeah, so that was the experience of the stone dog. But also, I mean, it was bad, because I said to her later on, you could have killed the horse. And I have told this tale once before. Oh, right, Julie Dandelions, I had to check, because I went talking about the magic mushrooms, because there's always a bit of a delay, isn't there, with when you're in the chat. One of my friends, her horse this was a few years ago. I mean, we were kind of like teenagers, and the horse was an absolute psycho. She was such a stress head, real, anyone who knows horses, your thoroughbreds and your ex-race horses, off their head, batshit crazy, psychotic, nutters. So her husband, well, he was a boyfriend at the time, he used to smoke pot. And unbeknown to me, I came down to the stables and she's pacing up and down. She's like, I think I've killed my horse. I think I've killed my horse. I went, what have you done? She went, well, because she's such a stress head. She went, well, Wolfie, that's a ex-husband. He said, give her some pot. She said, so I've given her, and they'd given the horse like a shitload of bud, and they put it in her food. The horse had eaten the lot. Well, the next minute, the horse must have been having a whitey. Stop it, Cooper. As lay down in the stable, groaning, going, ugh, and that was all it was doing. Couldn't open its eyes, was just lying on its side, just going, ugh, and then it breathing again, and then, ugh. So she's like, I think she's dying. I said, listen, mate, you're gonna have to phone the vet. You can't. I said, what if her blood pressure's dropped so low and her heart rate stopped? I said, you're going to phone the vet. So we got the vet. Anyway, she's panicking about which vet to ring. So I said, ring my vet, because he was somebody I went to uni with. Ring my vet. He'll not like phone the police or anything. So my vet rocks up at the stables and he's like, oh my God, I think this horse has got colic. So I'm kind of looking at my friend Kate and I'm going, you need to tell him. So I said, look, the thing is, she's given it pot, because it's off its head. I said, she thought it would have chilled the horse out. I said, but it's had this reaction. How much pot has it had? So she told him. Well, he started laughing. He said, right, okay. And he checked all the horse's vitals, temperature and the heart rate and what have you. He said, right, it's not going to kill her. He said, she's just very, very stoned. He said, just imagine you've given her probably the worst night of her life. He said, so she went, well, what do I need to do? He said, just sit with her, he said, and when she makes up, make sure you've got about 4 different feeds made, because she's going to have the munchies. It was the funniest effing thing I've ever seen, a bloody stoned horse. So yes, there we have the story of the stoned horse from many years ago. Gosh, I'm looking out here. I don't know what's going on. It's like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. There must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. There must be about, oh God, at least, shut up, 40 seagulls outside. They're landing on the shed, the trees at the bottom of the garden. They're all milling around. This might be because it's there's supposed to be a bit of a storm brewing up, isn't there? I know, it's very funny, Luke, but yeah, it was, she learned a lesson. The horse never had pot again, but she really, I mean, I thought the horse was going to die, the noises that she was making. You see, my little horse makes those noises anyway, but she's just so chilled out. She's just high on life. So, has everybody subbed into Sheila as well? Have you had a look at Sheila's videos and her uploads? Very funny stuff, some very enlightening stuff as well. She had put her link up earlier, so anybody who hasn't subbed, please give Sheila a sub as well. Right, so as I said, this was going to be a very quick one tonight. Oh, thank you, Luke Mum. But I will definitely sub to you now. The minute I get off, I'll sub to you, and I'll also give you a wrench, and then you're part of the blue crew in here. Oh, thank you, Rav, for giving Sheila a sub. Would you believe she only had, did you have 19 subs the other night, and she's past 70 now, which is brilliant. 2 nights, not bad going. So yeah, we're going to try and get her subs up. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. I'm sorry, as I said, it's a very quick one because I'm going to go to bed early tonight. I'm going to make myself nice and refreshed and get ready for our exciting live tomorrow. So I hope that you can all make it. It's 8 o'clock UK time, 8 p.m. UK time. And what Cooper's cake, Sheila? Do you mean what is Cooper's made of? And presumably made his cake. Yeah, before I go, I will just give that recipe out quickly. I gave it to Blue Rose on a text before. So it's based on the Lily's Kitchen. If anybody's heard of Lily's Kitchen, it's based on one of their recipes. So basically, I've kind of tweaked it myself, but it is so a pound of mince, something like that. You've done a little late after a little boy sleeping. Oh, no problem, Rav. But I always leave them up anyway, so it will be there. Well, actually, Sheila, I made the same cake a couple of years ago, and I dropped a piece in for my friend and her husband's dog, and she rang me up. Her husband had eaten it. I said, he does know that was dog cake. She went, I didn't have the heart to tell him, but she did tell him in the end. So you get no, it's for dogs, but it's human food. So basically, Ian, who ate it, said it tasted like meatloaf. He wouldn't think this did because I have put fish in this as well. But basically, get a pen and paper, and if you've got a dog or a cat, you could make this for them. So a pound of either lamb or beef mince. You could use pork if you want, but I find that too fatty for dogs. So I used a pound of beef mince. I used 1 tub of cottage cheese, just plain cottage cheese, a tin of garden peas, 7 ounces of flour. I used like the wholemeal flour, but you can use whatever. 2 eggs, which have been beaten. 1/4 of a pint of water. If you've got any sunflower seeds, you can put those in or what have you. But I just did that. So put it all in a bowl, mix it all up. It's quite a sloppy mixture. Put it in a greased baking tin and bake it at, I don't know how to convert times, but electric oven, it was 180. So cook it at 180 for 45 minutes. And then when you get it out and it's cooled down, the top of it, you ice it, but you ice it with not icing as we know it, but with low fat cream cheese. I used low fat, what's it called? Oh my God. Flipping heck. I can't remember the name of the cream cheese. Philadelphia. That's it. I couldn't think of it then. Yeah, I just put a full pack of low fat Philadelphia on the top, and that's the icing for the cake. And then you can do anything. Like before, I've put little cheese slices on top, little cheese triangles, like Dairy Lee or Baby Bells, and you can put anything you want in it. I just did that with grain-free dog biscuits. Oh, sorry, I forgot something. I also put in mine, so that's the basic recipe, but in mine, I also put a little tin of sardines in olive oil, and they went in it as well. So there you go. Birthday cake for doggies or cats. They all like it, but yeah, the dogs love it. Right, on that note then, I shall say goodnight to everybody. I hope you'll all think up some good questions. Oh, Tasty Cake, good live. I've subbed and will be watching more. Oh, thank you so much, Luke and Mum. And I will do likewise, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. So right, guys and gals, thank you very much. I'm sorry this is probably the shortest live I have ever done, even shorter than the drunken one I made on holiday last year, where I was filming my friend being sick on the grass. I think that was about 50 minutes, something like that. So this is probably my shortest ever live, but I will see you all tomorrow. So thank you so much. See you later. Bye, everybody. Take care. And mwah, mwah. I'll see you all on the... Oh, look, Blue Rose, she snuck in. Bugger lugs. Right, I'll see you all on the bright side.